And I think we're live. Top chat. Good. Switch that from top chat to all chat. And let's see. Let's start playing this again. I crashed. I was going to go live like 2 minutes ago, but I crashed.
Thank you.
Let's start playing this again.
It just closed down Discord. That's one of my problems. I keep Discord open while I stream, but I always wonder if somebody's going to message me during Discord and I'm going to miss it. Anyway, the situation for Trump has gotten markedly worse as the Epstein estate had to turn over a slew of documents, including one that Trump previously expressed just was not real. And not only he expressed it wasn't real, J.D. Vance went out on social media.
This is Dylan Burns. He's no, he's a good guy. He's a streamer, political. I think political left. Oh, really, Intermaster? You don't like Dylan Burns? See, I do like him. And he does the he actually does the he walks the walk and talks the talk because he goes to Ukraine and helps them.
And then we'll take a look at Trump's infamous body letter, we'll call it.
Now, NBC News Capitol Hill correspondent Julie Thurkin, MSNBC Justice and Intelligence correspondent Ken Delanian, and former federal prosecutor Temadayo Agenga Williams. He was also senior investigative counsel for the January 6th Select Committee. Julie, lawmakers have asked for a slew of evidence related to the Epstein case. So where do their efforts stand going into this?
Yeah. I really enjoy the administration's their banter on this, saying we're the most transparent. I'll say regime, but obviously, if I say regime, you know I'm talking about that with kind of a little bit of a bias. We're the most transparent of all time, but they won't even release things that the Attorney General has. I wonder why.
Specifically, we're talking about on lawmakers on the House oversight.
I mean, you want to protect the names of the victims? Yes, protect the names of the victims that did not go to the Capitol last week and say, I don't care if my name's released. Like, why do you have to protect them? They went to the Capitol. They were on public TV saying, I don't care if my name's released. Yes, it's funny.
I know there are parallel efforts going on with that.
Oh yeah, Intermonster. Yeah, I get that. He's kind of like a heavy metal guy. He really likes Metallica, I think. But he's done more. Unselfishly, he's done more to help a country that's not his than almost anyone has. And he's not doing it for the money. That would be the next logical question. Is he just doing it for money? I don't think he is. He's not my favorite streamer. There's like 6 or 7 guys I like better than him. Or I'll listen. I shouldn't say like better. I'll listen to them more than him. But he's very for his age. I think he's like 26 or so. Very intellectual. Makes great arguments.
What is turned over by the state today, which they expected to be also phone logs, flight logs, anywhere they could potentially see any connection.
He looks like he should be in a heavy metal band.
His associates were a bigger breadth than what we already knew over the last 2 decades. And certainly there's a lot more to be seen. Remember, this is going to be redacted. It's going to take time for them to go over this stuff. And certainly
who do we see here? Oh, 2 people. The one living saying they weren't really good friends.
Skepticism that they may not be able to
the man.
The state is turning over. And so, Julie.
Oh, is that Ghislaine Maxwell in the background? Oh, she got a sweetheart deal. That's the other thing that happened. When someone gets a prison sentence of over 10 years, they're actually not allowed to be in a minimum secure facility. But somehow, we don't know who signed the order. Somehow, she was allowed to do it. She was allowed to go to a minimum security where they don't really check on you. They just think that you'll check back in at the end of the day.
We're going to turn over everything. I mean, this is Epstein's estate, obviously. What's going to be redacted? What isn't going to be redacted? But one piece of information that the Wall Street Journal is reporting on.
Oh, this is the Wall Street
the
Journal
birthday
thing.
letter with-
So this is a thing that the Wall Street Journal came out with. I'm thinking it's like 2 months ago, which was it was like a letter that Trump sent to Jeffrey Epstein.
which
Very
includes
interesting.
The letter itself.
And Trump is saying it doesn't exist. Like the whole thing is just not only is it a fake, it's a Democratic hoax.
Lawyers for Jeffrey Epstein has given Congress a copy of the birthday book put together for the financier's 50th birthday, which includes a letter with President Trump's signature that he.
Can you guys hear Dylan okay? It might not be loud enough.
Revealed today by members of the House Oversight Committee. Now, this is something that could not have been hidden by the Republicans on the committee, purely for the fact that not only would, if they tried to hide it past this,
like this is just new news. Before today, no one in the public has seen this.
Not only the Trump administration, but those on the committee, but also because, of course, the Democrats on the committee, and there's nothing they can do. It's now all public. There's nothing they could have done at this point. Once those documents were turned over, there's nothing they could have done. There's nothing they could have done to block it. Before, when it comes to Mike Johnson and the rest of Republican leadership shutting down Congress to stop a vote on the Epstein files being released, that's something they could have done to stop its release, and that's what they did do. When it comes to this discharge petition, they just need 2 more Republicans to sign on to jump on the vote in order to get it through. They will not do that. I don't think they're going to be a vote. I think that they're going to miss it by at least a vote. But I wouldn't be surprised if literally no one else jumped on out of fear after seeing.
I would say, this is the most interesting vote that I've ever seen. This is the vote to release, just release the information. And the vote is all the Democrats are voting for releasing the information. And certain Republicans, you would think, because these Republicans are so anti-Democratic Party that it's just insane to think that they would ever vote together on anything. It includes Thomas Massie, Marjorie Taylor Greene, who still thinks that Jewish space lasers turned the election results in Joe Biden's favor, Lauren Boebert, and Nancy Mace. Of course, that makes kind of sense. Like the three MAGA women would vote that way. And Thomas Massie has always been a critic of Donald Trump. But if you look at like the people that are most anti-voting for the Democrats, it's actually these 4 people.
The ad money that's being spent against Thomas Massie in his home district after the Trump administration called what he did a hostile act. But at the end of the day, the only real transparency we've gotten on the Epstein files since Trump has gotten in office, after he promised transparency, after Kash Patel is FBI director.
Yeah, Dylan's right. Donald Trump, there was an interview with one of the major news networks. And I'll kind of disagree a little bit with Dylan Burns here, because the question was, will you release the Martin Luther King stuff? Will you release the JFK stuff? He said yes. And then they said, will you release the Epstein files? And then Trump originally said yes. And then he said something like, we'll see.
Promised transparency, said he'd release the complete raw.
But he's right. Like Pam Bondi said she's going to release it. And then she found out what was in it. And then after she found out what was in it and she spoke to Trump, he's like, what the hell? Don't release this. After Kash Patel took office and said, release the files. Now Kash Patel's like, I don't even don't know why Kash Patel still has a job. And then they hired Dan Bongino, who he was like a right-wing podcaster. And it's actually a really important issue to him to release the files. And I was down in Atlantic City at the time, and it was the weekend where he got into a fight with Pam Bondi because he wanted to release the Epstein files, but obviously the reason he got into a fight with Pam Bondi is he really wanted to release them, thinking that Trump would not be implicated. And Pam Bondi said, no, we just can't do that. And then the whole fight broke out. Oh, it was ridiculous.
On Joe Rogan's podcast, unedited, did none of that, failed in all of that. And since then, Pam Bondi to Dan Bongino, it's been a massive disaster. From Dan Bongino's protest, from Pam Bondi's statements.
I think of all the people here that I feel bad for Dan Bongino, who, even though I don't agree with his political views, he legitimately thought that, no, we're just going to release it. No one in this administration could ever be harmed. That was like, oh no, we have to keep this under wraps. We just can't release the information.
The affirmative, then in the negative, then in the affirmative. And now we have the first piece of actual transparency we've gotten for the entirety of the administration on Jeffrey Epstein, the release of some actual files. And it's not due to the Republicans in Congress acting.
Yeah, this stuff here you see here. This is not due to any of the files that the DOJ has. This is coming from the estate of Jeffrey Epstein.
To these documents being turned over. Listen to this. There must be more to life than everything. This is, and by the way it was described in the article is the way that it's drawn. If you look here, it's drawn in the body of a woman, breasts. If you go down below, the writing is where you would expect it to.
Well, I would disagree. I would disagree that I don't see a big, like, the left-wing media will say, oh, this is something else. I just don't see that. I just don't see that.
There to be. Some could say that it's not artistically meant to be that.
Yeah,
that it's.
I agree. This is where I kind of disagree with Dylan here. I don't think
it happens to be there that he signed the signature.
Yeah, I'm not gonna take points off for Donald Trump for that.
The thing about art is the interpretation lies in the eyes of the beholder. So I'll leave that to you, art fanatics at home, to interpret what the artist's meaning truly was. All you Bob Rosses around there who are going to be copying this masterpiece at home. Let's read what was in here, even though, again, we already read the report a while ago, though it was denied at the time. Voiceover. And that's what's weird about this. It's a voiceover. It's not like, hey, Jeffrey, how's it doing? Hope you have a good day. Hot women, haha. Donald. That would be normal. That's not, you know what? I can't believe I said that out loud. That would not be normal. Compared to this, that would be normal. In these circumstances, relative to the fact that he's friends with Jeffrey Epstein, that would be normal. That's what I would expect of Donald Trump. What I would expect of Donald Trump, if he was to be the type of, in the most sympathetic picture you could paint of Donald Trump, is that he's a womanizing type of guy. That, you know, he was married to his wife. He boinked, a porn star, paid her off all this money while his wife was pregnant. That's just the type of way he behaves. He saw Jeffrey as the type of guy who does something similar. And, so he invited him to some parties, stuff like that. Later found stuff out. And then, but didn't engage in anything. That's the most sympathetic picture you could paint. It doesn't really match up with the fact that he said that Jeffrey likes his women on the younger side. And it certainly doesn't match up with the recent declaration by Mike Johnson that he was an FBI informant.
Yeah.
But when
that was another great thing. Oh, we haven't even gotten into Mike Johnson saying Donald Trump was an FBI informant. And so how would he have known that without being informed of the Epstein files? No one could ever imagine someone just coming out with that out of the blue without being informed of the Epstein files. But as it turns out, and people think that Epstein was going to purchase a property in Florida from a Russian oligarch, and Epstein wasn't sure whether he should do it or not. So he actually asked Donald Trump, back when they were friends, he asked Trump to come down and inspect the property. And then Epstein was asking about, like, what can I do with the pool? And Trump out secretly bought the property out of Epstein. So Trump offered, like, the property was going for 36 million. Trump said, "I'm going to bid over 40 million for it," and Trump got the property, and that pissed Epstein off. That was the reason for their unliking each other. And then after they unlike each other, then all of a sudden Trump turned informant. I don't know if you guys know that, but that story it's absolutely the truth. And it's the reason why Epstein and Trump kind of got into a spat, and all of a sudden Trump became an FBI informant.
Listen, it's not like a normal letter. I don't know how you guys write a letter to your friends. How's it going? Hope you've been well. Happy birthday. Boom. Voice over. And listen to the ominous way that this reads. There must be more than life than everything. Donald. Yes, there is. But I won't tell you what it is. Jeffrey. Nor will I, since I also know what it is.
Hey, David.
Donald. We have certain things in common, Jeffrey. Jeffrey. Yes, we do.
We have certain things in common. Oh, what does that mean? We have certain things in common. So that could mean they both like making money. Right. Because that would separate them out from, let's say, the rest of the world. Because only those two people have in common, we like to make money. No one else does. Oh, what else could it be? They have certain things in common. I don't know. What is it if it's not making money? Yes, we do. Come to think of it. Enigmas. So the one thing that's interesting about it, enigmas never age. Why is there an S at the end of enigmas? So that implies a plurality. Plural. There's something that could occur in many that never ages. So what is enigmas? Like, enigma could mean something. Enigmas. I don't even know if enigmas is a word, but never age. Have you noticed that? It's like, what was a common phase? I always age a year, but the girls on Soy 6 never do. How about that? Every year I come back, I'm a year older, but the girls on Soy 6 never are. They never age. Jeffrey, as a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you.
Enigmas never age. Have you noticed that, Jeffrey? As a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you. Donald, a pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday.
All these things
every day be another
just don't look so good.
Secret. Donald J. Trump. Take care.
So the one thing I'll disagree with him on is this whole thing that his signature has to be here, and they're saying, oh, this is a correlation to something because his signature. I don't care about that.
So this is word for word what was in the article. So Donald Trump, okay, brace for it, brace for it, brace for it, brace for it, brace for it. He lied. He lied. He fibbed. Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
if you're talking about, I don't know if he's talking about Jeffrey Epstein fibbing or Donald Trump fibbing, but if he's talking about Donald Trump fibbing, I mean, literally his first 4 years, they counted over 15,000 times on public TV. He actually lied. So, I mean, who cares at this point?
Once you have gotten over the shock, we also need to include that the vice president did as well. And the vice president was the one who was really doing the circuit, going around saying that it wasn't real. Here's my question.
Oh, this whole thing, by the way, Donald Trump is saying this is a Democratic hoax. None of the victims that are talking about this are real. This thing is not real. It's all a Democratic hoax.
know it was fake, or at least think it was fake.
Yes, because Hillary Clinton, who he accuses of doing this, Hillary Clinton wanted to implicate her husband, so made her husband part of the Epstein files. Okay.
Out there and started saying it was fake after being tricked, or did he know and he was just following orders? Because I would not be surprised if JD Vance thought it was fake, thought the fake news was fake newsing or whatever, went out there and said, that's too crazy to believe. And Donald Trump said,
oh, believe it or not, JD Vance is now probably the most dangerous person in America. Like, we all know Trump is deranged, makes bad decisions, stuff. And it's possible Trump's own party rebukes him, which will put JD Vance in charge. But JD Vance is actually very intelligent, way more intelligent than I am. And his intelligence plus his views on being anti-Europe, plus a lot of other things, I would say makes him the most dangerous person in America.
And so he went out there and he did the circuit for him. Either way, the people this blew up in the face of most is Donald Trump, obviously, who himself denied it. But I would say to a lesser extent, but I think almost equal, is JD Vance, because he was the man I saw out there on Twitter really digging the trenches, going bar for bar, word for word, fighting in the replies with people on Twitter.
I remember. Sorry to keep on pausing this and interjecting my thing. I remember JD Vance when I was in Thailand. JD Vance was giving a speech in Europe to how the Europeans, it was so anti-European. And the only part about it, I don't even know if he said it. The only part about it I would kind of agree with was they have taken European security for granted because of the United States. That's the only thing I would say. But like Europe really, with the exception of Hungary and Slovakia, they remember.
States in the replies going back and forth so vicious. See, if you thought this was real, but you had to portray it like it was fake, you know what you do? You release I would imagine you release like a single statement and then you don't follow up on it at all, because the more scrutiny you get, the worse it's going to be, right? That's one way to approach it. But again,
all right, who wants to come on?
Copy and lying tactic has always been, if you repeat a lie enough times.
But
now that it's out there, whether it was a Trumpian lying tactic, whether it was an example of Donald Trump using JD Vance as his political footstool, and now JD Vance has to pay some political consequence from that on one of the
days
that is most painful for the MAGA.
Oh, Zabai. I gained a few points in puzzles today on chess.com.
When it comes to dealing with Trump, mind you,
dang it,
Republican voters, because people, I remember talking to Jeb Tan not too long ago. We just released the full footage on YouTube of the conversation where he's like, "Don't worry, I'm actually happy Trump won this time because now MAGAism will be dead because the Epstein stuff and XYZ it's really pissing people off." Polling indicates that the approval rating for Donald Trump for Republicans, people in the Republican Party, which the majority of the MAGA movement is within, but there's also people who are independents and maybe even libertarians that would be covered by that label. 90% in February of this year. Now it's 91%. Okay, if you think I'm lying, I'm pushing Trump propaganda, go listen to Harry Etten on CNN or whoever you need to tell you this. But that's just how it is. Now, whether or not, with time, as certain promises on the economy don't bear fruit, with time, as certain promises when it comes to a quick and speedy end to the war in Ukraine continue to not bear fruit, or if
anyone who thinks that the war in Ukraine is going to come to a speedy end, it's probably not. The will of democratic nations, which I would say 90% of us on this chat, 90% of us are democratic nations. We hate losing troops. That's not the way Russia works. And Russia they have backers. They have China doing a lot of the economic things. They have North Korea for actual troops and they don't use one. I was gonna say 155. They don't use 155 shells, but like artillery. I'll say artillery. Come on, Air Monster. Come on. Let's talk. Well, I'll play it because as I said before, like anyone wants to come on. I posted the link like 20 minutes ago.
That will change, but I don't see it changing of a grand scale anytime soon. I could see it moving within 10 digits max, but this idea of some collapse that was being described to me.
Oh
no, I think that if
who do we have on? Who do we have? This is
it's JHK.
Yes, I recognize. Now we got two people.
You want me to leave? Fuck nut.
No, I don't
It's all right.
Nah, I enjoy listening to you.
This guy's like Jack Black's retarded brother. Look at him. I want to punch him in the face. I don't like him.
Yeah.
One bit.
He has a purpose in life. I think he doesn't. I don't think he does this for the money. I don't even think he's rich.
Yeah, but mate, like if this guy didn't have internet access, he would have killed himself like 25 years ago. You know, like.
Oh, I wouldn't get. So we got 4 people. I'll take off. I'll take off, Dylan.
How'd you even find this guy? Who is he? Dylan. What is he? Just a political guy? Political kid?
So what happened at the start of the war, the Russo-Ukrainian war, back on February 22nd, 2022? You kind of through the grapevine learn about people. You learn about people, the stuff that they do. There's other people that I totally, and anyone that believes in Ukraine over Russia, I'm going to have a bias towards.
Mm-hmm.
I think Russia invading Ukraine to turn Ukraine into nothing more than another Belarus was totally wrong.
But actually, he kind of reminds me of Kelly. You know, you just want to punch him in the face when you look at him. You know what I'm saying?
Right, because of his heavy metal look. If he played guitar for Amon Amarth, do you really think people would criticize him?
Hey, see, I watched football tonight. Sweden played. It's like I don't even remember the name of the country. You know, like Albania. They have like they split the country up, and now it's called Kosovo, like a part of old Albania, and they ranked like 200 or like 100. And we should crush them, you know, like easy win. But we go there and we lose 2-0 against the worst team in Europe. Not the worst, but like one of the top 5 worst.
Yeah, that's not a good thing.
Yeah, it's just annoying. I was hyped, like we're gonna win, we're gonna have a good night, and then like nope.
Yeah.
You have
I don't know
team
how to
that
respond to that. Like
you have a team that you follow, like that you really like care about, like
yeah.
A sports team.
Yes, it's called football, but it's the other kind of football.
Didn't that happen? I didn't see the end of the stream, but I heard someone said that Ron's stream and his team lose by 1 point, right? In the end of the last second.
Yeah. So what happened to Ron's team yesterday? was probably something that only happens once every 5 years. I would say 5 years at the minimum. How much they were up, how much they were dominating, and then what just happened was insane. And it wouldn't be so bad if it was just to like a no-name team that wouldn't even compete for the playoffs. But there's only 2 teams in the AFC that would challenge Ron's team for the championship. It's Kansas City and Buffalo. Maybe you could argue Pittsburgh too, yes or no, but
I didn't see the end of it. I just I heard Ron talking like, okay, everybody should bet $1,000 on this game because it's a sure thing. And then he went home in halftime, and then the next day it's like, yeah, they lost.
If you bet, not even 1,000, if you bet at the time where Baltimore was up the most, if you bet, because it would have been 98%, if you bet $100, you would have made 10 to 50,000, because Baltimore was up so much with so little time left. You would have made, for $100 bet, you would have made.
Ron got to be hurting today then. Like, he was wearing the shirt and everything. I fell asleep, like I can't stay up that late. No, Dave, they lost by 1 point, like in the last second or some shit.
Yeah. I saw the highlights.
That's rough. Like, he probably bet on that game too, and he wanted to buy like a T-shirt for his wife, like from the team and stuff. But Dave, at least we got some more content for season 7 or 6 or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm not going to go totally Ron's wife yet. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Oh my God!
But if Ron actually bet on that game, it would be so discouraging, because
I think he did. I think he bet 100. I think that's what he said. He bet $100.
I did not see Ron's stream, so I don't know. I don't know if he bet, but if he bet 100 on before the game started, because so if he bet 100, Baltimore was actually favored. They were, even though it was at Buffalo, Baltimore was favored. So
I don't know if he bet or not. I just saw a little bit of the stream, and he said like he was encouraging the chat, like, yeah, this is a sure thing. You should all bet $1,000 on Baltimore.
Oh God! But if they actually bet 1,000 in the fourth quarter, at some point, where Baltimore was like, it had to be like 98% chance, they would have turned their 1,000. What do you divide that? 1,000 divided by 0.02. Take the juice.
There is
0.9.
There is a thing happening in Sweden now. It's pretty cool. Like, there is like a small team who's like crushing our soccer league, if that's what you want to call it in America. But there was like these 2 brothers, like they bet in the beginning of the season. They bet on the shit team, So like they bet $50 each on the shit team to win, and they're crushing it, and they're like 8 points in front on top of the league. So they get like $7,500 each if they win, and it's like only 6-7 games left.
Yeah,
that's a decent bet.
Yeah, it kind of depends on what's the betting site, what's the you call it the vig, the juice. Like sometimes, take for example, remember tennis yesterday? You had Carlos Alcaraz, Yannick Sinner. So for an individual match, if the spread of what they take is so high, it's just not worth betting. And
I don't do any betting. The only thing I do is poker, because that's with real people, not with the house.
Yeah, I like poker. I do like Hold'em a lot. You gotta know.
I play Omaha for 17 years.
Oh, Omaha, yeah. That Omaha was probably the most popular card game until the Hold'em phase, like the Hold'em thing came out.
You play that like with the 4 cards?
Yeah, I played Omaha and I played Hold'em. I actually like Hold'em, Texas Hold'em better.
I find Hold'em kind of slow. Like there's not a lot of you just sit there and wait, you know. But Omaha is a lot of action, you know. Like you get shit done. Like there's always like draws, you know. Like some people got the flush and some people got the straight and some people got the full house and
Yeah.
like people get in there, you know.
Oh yeah.
So Monster, what do you reckon about Charlie's trip to go to visit the Himalayan mountains and go to see Mount Everest?
Oh no! Don't say he's gonna. No, I haven't watched Chief Charlie, but don't say he's.
I was trolling him. I knew he wasn't going to go. I said, listen, if you go to Everest Space, I would have given him $1,000, but there's not. I knew in a shot there was not a chance in all hell that he would do it. So he was like, no, I knew he wouldn't do it. But but I mean, if he did fucking go and he got up to at least got to Nepal, I would have sent the money definitely. And if he finished it, I definitely would have given him 1,000. But the thing that my prediction came true. I called Cabo and ended up coming out of the woodwork and donated $250 and saying, "Come to Patia." And as soon as that, he's like, "Oh, I'm scared of the altitude, and it's not a good time." And
I think he's doing better just relying on Cabo paying for his tooth like 7 times that he still didn't fucking fix.
Yeah, I don't know, man. He's so indecisive. It's
Yeah, but
crazy.
it's like, I'm gonna become a vlogger now, but I might stream, but maybe I'm gonna do that, and maybe I'm gonna do this, and I might fuck off, and I might do this, but I'm gonna do fuck all, but maybe this.
I knew he wouldn't go to Nepal because you can't stream. It just doesn't. The bandwidth isn't there. You can't stream there. So I said to him, go to Nepal, do the Everest Base Camp trek, do your vlogs like you've always talked about, and I'll give you $1,000. And I knew he wasn't going to do it. And then he came out and said, "Yeah, I'm definitely going to do it. I accept your offer." And then I don't know, I was asleep.
But then you hear next day, he's like, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm gonna think about it. Maybe not.
Oh yeah.
And I heard I didn't see this on my own, but I heard somebody say in chat he was asking the nomad guy, like the cunt in the USA. What's his name?
Oh, Nomad. I do.
Yeah.
I do that.
He was asking him for $5,000 to do the thing.
I thought he was. So I think you're talking about Twitchy.
Yeah, that's the guy. But didn't he just inherited some money from his parents, right?
A couple years ago, but I don't think so. I don't think this had anything to do with that. So there was a thing where Twitchy was going to support his stream. I think it was to the Appalachian Trail.
Yeah, it was based on the mileage that he did on the Appalachian Trail. And then Charlie,
it was never five. I don't think it was ever 5,000.
No, it was 10,000. It was up to $10,000. Basically, if he had finished the entire trail, it would have been $10,000. It was based on him finishing it and doing a certain amount of mileage. But then Charlie, I forget what happened. Charlie ended up saying something that pissed Twitchy off, and Twitchy's like, "Fuck you." So, that's basically. I mean, Twitchy probably stepped back and said, "Why the hell am I giving this guy $10,000?"
Yeah, which he should do for every streamer. Like, why is he gonna offer people that much money? First of all, you don't have to offer people that much money to get them to do stuff. Like 10,000 is a lot of money. You could offer people 1,000, and they're going to do the same thing, whatever you want.
Yeah, but okay.
Oh, no, I offered Charlie 1,000 to go to top to base camp. He didn't do it.
Yeah, well, the fly to base camp that's actually that's
Monster. See, I think it's different. Like, if you get the offer, fine, you can accept it. but you don't ask somebody for $5,000 or $10,000. Like, yeah, you should
No,
you should give me
Twitchy
this.
offered it. Twitchy
Yeah,
offered it, just like
Oh,
I
he
yeah,
offered.
did.
I agree. I agree with Inner Monster here. Like, I don't think Cheap Charlie demanded it. I think Twitchy
Oh,
offered it.
I thought he was asking him.
Mm-mm.
No, he never asked. He doesn't
Yeah.
ask for
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
He gets
Yeah,
the
but
offers.
that's fair enough then. Like, I thought he was asking for it, but like, if he
Yeah.
offered, like, yeah, fine, take the offer.
Yeah, no, it
Well,
just
you always have to. You take the offer. You always have to worry about someone. Wait, are they just trolling you?
no. I've proved that I didn't try. I said, listen, go to
No.
Belize.
This has nothing to do with you. Like, I'm
Mhm.
just replying to, if Twitchy offered 10,000, you always have to ask, is he just?
Yeah, but like, you don't sit there and like, hey, you should give me 10,000 and I will do it later, like fucking Kelly, you know?
Yeah, I don't think Cheap Charlie does that.
No,
No,
he's,
no, no.
He doesn't
I don't
demand it.
think so either. But it sounded like he expected to. But I get it. He didn't.
Right.
Right.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know Kelly well enough to know if that's what he demands. But
Yeah, but
I do
Kelly's
know. I
basically
actually do know
saying like,
Charlie.
I didn't speak to my brother for like 20 years, but he's rich, so he should give me $50,000 so I can get it done on YouTube. Like, that's not a thing. Like, no, shut up.
By the way, is your brother looking for? I'm just asking. Is he looking for a stepbrother?
he's talking about what you call his brother, Kelly Caldwell's. Kelly Caldwell's supposedly the only person that's not successful in his family. Everyone else is millionaires.
Yeah, but like, that's like the next level of entitlement, right? Monster, like, it's like, yep, I won't do fuck all, but like, you should pay for me, but I won't do anything. I won't go to Guatemala. I won't leave the fucking condo. I won't do fuck all, but I'm a fucking YouTuber, so send me money. Like, what? Like, you did fuck all in like fucking what? Like 5 fucking years.
Yeah, well,
Not.
some people still give him money. I always did it more as a goof than anything, but whatever. If you find it entertaining,
Like, I'm not an angry person, you know? I just, like, I'm not the kind of like hustle person who gonna like fucking stalk him and harass him, but I think he's a fucking stupid dickhead, you know? But I'm not gonna like make any means to like hurt him or make trouble for him. That's not my thing. But he's a cunt, you know?
yeah, it's fun to fuck with him. I find it enjoyable.
It depends. Like, maybe after like a 6 pack of beers, it's enjoyable, but like, it's kind of similar to Barry. Like, could you imagine watching them sober and like, yeah, I like this guy? No, fuck off.
I like it. Yep, fuck off. That's kind of my attitude. It's kind of my attitude. Ugh. So what else? What else you guys got to say? What's going on in the chat? Twitchy would not have paid anyway. Yeah, you're probably right. At least CC gets out of the kitchen instead of Kelly. Correct. Tandem man, yes. Coffee joint. Yeah, but that's what CC does. I mean, if he goes back to Thailand, that's pretty much what he's gonna do. He's gonna go to the gym. He's gonna stay in a fan room, and he's gonna get coffee.
I have
Basically,
a love-hate relationship with Twitchy because I really like the intellectual things he says, but when he gets into political things,
yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's nice when it's not forced, but he tries too hard. My opinion.
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, he's a reasonably intelligent individual. I mean, I found it interesting
I would
when he was
say-
taught. What's
I
that?
would say he's one of the most intelligent people in the genre. If you're considering anyone that talks about Thailand in the genre, I think he's one of the most intelligent people because the facts that he brings, I can't dispute for the most part. But then he brings up his political views.
Yeah, I don't even know his political views, to be honest with you, but I really could care less about political views. To be honest.
But like, You remember back in the days? Okay, I know it was COVID times, right? And like everybody's fucked up at home and got fuck all to do. But had like 600 people in chat, and like
Yeah. Back in the day, Charlie had hundreds and hundreds of people on. I remember.
yeah. But like to me, it feels like it's like most of the chat has been waiting for 5 years for him to start drinking again. Like they want him to drink. Everybody wants him to start drink again.
That brings
Yeah, I
up
mean,
the question. So the question is, what percent of people watching now were the people that watched 5 years ago? I think it's under 50%. I don't think it's over half. I think it's under half.
yeah, I mean the numbers have
Probably.
gone down significantly. Definitely. I mean, it's just but people just like
But
anything, you get interested in something, you kind of get habituated to it. Even people watching television shows, it gets to the point where it sucks, but you're invested in it, so you continue to watch it.
yeah.
Until it ends. That's basically what
But
it comes down to.
I think there is some percent of Charlie's chat who's like, yeah, just start drinking again. Start drinking again. We want to see the old Charlie.
Yes. Oh, I agree. There is a percentage of that. They
But
remember the
then
good times.
you got the new ones too. Like there is nice people too. Like you remember the Greg guy? Like they pick him up on his hiking in Iowa and they take him out and like let him stay at their house and stuff. Like
Who? Greg?
yeah, there is a Greg guy in Charlie's chat. Like when he was hiking in Iowa.
Who was that guy? I do remember.
Yeah,
Not only him, his wife too. Yeah.
yeah, like they just pick him up and like, okay, like we're gonna drive you around and you can stay at our house, no problem.
Mhm.
They
Yeah, that
just
was
like
good. Yeah, that was
look
good.
at the area surrounding and like, oh, he's around here. Okay, we're gonna like treat him around and show him a good time and he can stay with us, no problem.
There's a decent amount of people in the world that'll do that, but it's primarily people from the Midwest. You're not going to see that happen too often in the Northeast. Charlie, if you don't,
Yeah.
Charlie hitchhiking wouldn't do well around here where I live.
Hey, see, Truth Warrior said it. Yeah, Greg and Michelle, that was his wife, the woman he's with.
Yeah, I do remember those streams.
It was good though, like just watching him walk around like all over Ohio, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, not really.
And
Well,
Truth Warrior was another one.
I
She
do
met
remember.
Charlie, right? She didn't want to be on camera, but like she brought him some snacks and drove him around and stuff. She's cool too. Like
Yeah, I do remember that stream. She did bring him snacks. I don't think she drove him around, but
Were they Snickers?
uh um hmm. I I do remember.
Truth Warrior
Yeah,
was
I
it
do remember
Snickers?
Taylor
Well,
brought him
she's here.
snacks. I don't think she drove him around though.
Truth
so,
Warrior,
It
did you get a
was on camera,
Snickers?
but I don't think she drove him around.
sorry, Truth, I didn't see you on camera. I thought you didn't want to be on, but I remember that you came up to Charlie and like brought him like a lot of snacks and stuff,
Yeah, I kind of
and
remember that.
maybe gave him a ride.
Oh, okay. Truth or saying
She's driving to like
this is
some.
interesting because I kind of remember it differently. I kind of remember it the same way that JHK remembers it. That you brought him snacks, and so maybe this is just another episode, another like stream or something.
I remember Truth brought him to like some like area that was like fucking. There was like graffiti and shit. Looked like a good place to get shot.
Did she
I remember
drive
that.
him? Did she drive Cheap Charlie there?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Some
no,
like
I don't remember that. Like I don't ever remember Truth Warrior driving Cheap Charlie anywhere.
yeah. She took
Oh,
him to like some like art thing where like people were fucking had spray painted stuff. It looked sketchy. I bet you there was hypodermic needles somewhere around there.
okay. I'm finding out new things today that I've never known before. I didn't think that Drew Hoover ever gave Cheap Chili a ride anywhere. She's saying yes, and it's confirmed. It's confirmed by Internet Monster himself.
2 rides. I remember watching that stream. The best stream ever, well, besides the mouse stream, was the stream he was in. Where the fuck was it? It was somewhere. I think it was somewhere in Ohio. Some guy like met him and gave him like $100 or $200, and basically like wanted him to talk more about like masculinity and the shit like that. Do you remember there was it was a strange guy in a restaurant. Basically, he found Charlie walking the streets and invited him to lunch and gave him money. That was strange. That was a strange scenario.
Monster, I think for me the best one is always gonna be What's the Thing Tavern, when he met the black guy, like, he's trying to talk to some chicks in the bar when he's drinking, and then like there's some black dude trying to take him to the ATM and like, come on bro, take out some fucking cash before I rob you.
What was that? That was in Cleveland, wasn't it?
Yeah, Charlie wanted to sleep in his basement. I remember that. He got thrown out of the bar, and then people called the cops because they were worried he was going to get murdered. I remember that shit.
Maybe
That
that
was
actually
brilliant.
worked. Who knows? Maybe it actually worked. He didn't get murdered.
I'll pay you to sleep on in your basement on the floor. He's fucking out of his mind.
Yeah, but what was his name? What was the name of the guy? Fuck me, I can't remember.
That I don't remember and don't want to remember. A lot of this shit.
He took Charlie to the ATM and like he's like on the phone with his bros, like, okay, we got a sucker here. I got him at the ATM. Come here, motherfuckers. We're gonna rob this cunt.
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. And then he got busted for an open container, I think. He didn't get arrested, but cops were about ready to throw him in the back of the car. Baklava is delicious. Baklava is good eats, man. Ooh, fuck. Monday. Fucking Monday.
What time is it in Jersey?
8:38. I went out and had
That's
some good pizza tonight. It didn't look that good. I did a little short of it. It doesn't look good, but it was delicious. They fucked it up. I had a half plain, half mushroom, and they fucked the order up. So I had to wait. So they rushed it out. I had to let it sit for like 5 minutes to cool down because it was so freaking hot. So it looked a little sloppy when I filmed it, but it was good pizza. It's definitely.
I got a question for you. You're American, right? So
yes.
What do you prefer, Chicago deep dish or New York pizza?
No, New York pizza 1,000 times over. Deep dishes.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I'll eat it. It's close to a Sicilian. Sicilian slice is similar to deep dish, but no, nice thin slice. Little crunch, good mozzarella. If you like any type of topping on it, that's the way to go. But yeah, deep dish is too much. It really is.
Have you ever been to Italy?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Had pizza in Italy. Had a good pizza margarita in where the fuck was I? Pisa. Right outside
Napoli?
of Pisa. Oh no, I'm sorry, Assisi. St. Francis Assisi, the town of Assisi. Fucking cool place up on a hill. That's where Francis Assisi is buried. Had a good pie there. I was in Rome, Venice, Florence. Where else? That's about it. It was nice. Wasn't a huge fan of Rome. Thought it was dirty. Florence was nice, and a couple of the other smaller little cities or towns were nice. It was good. It's been a while. But I have no desire to go back to Europe at all. I actually, I would like to see the Amalfi Coast. I've never been to the Amalfi Coast. That's on my bucket list. Still have not gone there, but we'll see. Maybe someday. I'm still hung up on
I think we got a woman on the panel now.
Yes, we got Truth Warrior. Give us your insight onto the when Cheap Charlie actually
Cheap Charlie.
did this.
It was his Ohio book, and
Yep.
I met him when he came to Columbus after he was on the bus from north central Ohio with Skittles. If you guys remember that guy, the homeless
Oh, I
guy.
remember
Yeah.
Skittles.
Yeah,
Yeah, I do remember Skittles.
Yeah, Skittles got a he actually gave him money so Skittles could go back to Missouri, take a bus.
Yeah,
And
I remember that.
and he was waiting at the Columbus bus depot to get a connection to go to Springfield, Ohio, because that's where his trail continued south, and the bus never showed up. So he's sitting in the Columbus bus station, and I used to work in downtown Columbus. Okay, Columbus at night, no bueno. Okay, you don't want to be sitting there. You don't want to be walking around, not where the bus depot is. You don't want to be there at night. So I picked him up and I took him to Springfield. That's because that's where the bus was supposed to take him if the bus showed up. So that's how that happened.
How far was that?
Oh, shoot. It was probably a good 45 minutes west.
I was saved him.
Yes. I took him out there. We walked around. We had dinner, and then I took him to. He had a hotel room for the night. I took him there, and then I went home because it was work night, so I couldn't. I was staying up late enough just to do that, but I'm like, no, you're not staying here. You know.
Didn't you take him to some place with all graffiti and shit? Did I remember that correctly? It was some it looked like an underpass with graffiti and shit. Do you remember that?
No.
That wasn't you. It must have been someone else. Someone picked him.
He had a couple of people. He had Greg Brown gave him a ride. There was a guy that was named, oh God, he was in Northern Ohio too. He gave him a ride. Jeez. Okay, it's not coming to me. Him and his wife, he gave him a ride. There was like at least three other people before me, and then Jay Easy gave him a ride. So he
Oh, I do remember. Yeah, I do remember the Jay Easy ride.
Yeah, Jay Easy met him in Columbus
Yeah.
too. So there was like 5 of us that I know of that gave him rides to, like, if he's walking, let's say he's walking down one of the main streets in Columbus. Well, they don't have the rails to trails doesn't go through Columbus. It sort of stops and then it starts at another spot. So then we were giving him rides to get to the next part of his trail he was going on. But there was Skittles. I'm sure y'all remember Skittles.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel bad for Skittles because
Road Dog.
the
That's
guy couldn't
Road
get back
Dog.
home.
Yeah,
He couldn't
Road
get
Dog.
back home.
Huh? Yeah, he did. He
He couldn't get back home until obviously Charlie met up with him.
Right, because Charlie, I don't know if Charlie paid for his bus ticket to go to Columbus, but I know he paid for his bus ticket to go from Columbus to Missouri because Skittles was trying to get back home to Missouri.
Yes, that's the part I remember.
Yeah.
Sorry, Pai, can I interrupt for a second? There is an interesting comment in chat.
Yeah.
Somebody says, "Is that Nepal hike actually doable for Charlie?" I would assume it would be pretty challenging, even if it's hiking up Everest itself. But I think
I did it.
I think
Well,
I think I think the thing is the cost. Like you need like a tour guide just to get to the base point, right? And then
Yes.
like if you wanna hike up furthermore, it's gonna be like $5,000 just to like hike up the mountain or like try to do something.
Guys, no, I'm tired of hearing people speak gibberish.
No.
I did it. I did this in 2019. It's not $5,000. It's basically if you fly to Nepal, you go from Nepal, you can take a bus to Lukla. It starts in Lukla. You can get a guide in Lukla for fucking $20 a day. It takes you 11 days. The quickest you can do it is 11 days. Basically, you have to acclimate. It's not expensive at all. It's everyone's keeps, they're thinking that it's climbing to Everest, the peak, which is realistically the cheapest you can do that is like $50,000. You can do the Everest Base Camp trek, outside of the flights, to Kathmandu for realistically $1,000. If you take a bus, you have to take a bus from Kathmandu outside of Lukla and then hike up to Lukla. Once you get to Lukla, you're staying in tea houses, which at certain times of year they're free,
Yeah,
basically as long.
I don't know. Like that's just like
Mhm.
uh,
But
but
is he
like
physically? He's physically capable of
yeah,
doing
but like
it. What?
is that the end goal? Like going to the base camp, or do you want him to climb up the mountain too?
No, base camp. Yeah, my old ass did it. I did it when I was 50 years old. I did it after being a month in Thailand, drinking and whoring every fucking night. I always wanted to see Everest in the Himalayas, so I flew to Nepal and I did it. It's mind over matter. I mean, is it challenging? Fuck yeah, it's challenging. But if you want to do something, fucking do it. Just don't. I did the research, but it just you walk. The most difficult part of it is dealing with the elevation, but you acclimate. Charlie got sick probably because when he was wherever the fuck he was, because he didn't acclimate. But it's
It
like anything. I mean,
was
I
Colombia.
got
But
yeah,
when you were there, did you have any problems like with the breathing or the altitude or something like with the
yeah.
sickness?
I was when I was in Gorobchep. The night basically before I went to base camp, I went to Gorobchep, which is I don't know, almost 16,000 feet. Yeah, it's hard to breathe, but there's a lot of hard things in life. If you want to do certain things, you got to fucking deal with it. Rather than being paranoid, oh, this and that. I didn't. I could have dropped dead. I could have had, whatever they call it, a fucking embolism. But I wanted to
Yeah,
do it,
but
so I
that's
fucking
cool.
did.
Like you did
Yeah.
it, so good on you,
Well, I
man.
did.
Like
My flight, the plane that I took back from Lukla to Kathmandu, like 2 or 3 days later, was taking off to go back to Kathmandu. I had a hydraulics failure and ran into a helicopter, and 3 people died. But there's also, I'm sure every day there's an accident in, I'm driving around in New York or wherever I am. You can't live your life like that. You want to do certain things, there's risks involved,
yeah,
but
yeah, but you're completely correct. Like okay, say like this. Like okay,
mhm,
sometimes you read in the news, right? Like okay, like
mhm,
a plane crashed and some people died. But
mhm.
okay, that happens like every 2 3 months. But how often do people die in car accidents or like road rage or some shit? That happens every day, right?
I'm sure across the world every fucking minute, pretty much.
It's just like
Unfortunately.
you only read about it when it's like a plane and it's like worldwide, like
Yeah, no, it's sketchy. I mean, if you look up Lukla, it's the most dangerous airport in the world. It has the shortest runway. It's the highest Well, yeah, it is the highest elevation, but it was an experience.
did you see that rage video from America a couple of months ago? Like there is like some I don't know, it's like a minivan and then there is like a dude on a motorbike. No, like a real bike, and
Mhm.
he's like putting the middle finger to the girl in the car, and she just like smashed me off the road. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah, it happens all the time. The crazy shit like that. When I lived in Massachusetts, two guys got off they were racing each other and basically trying to run each other off the road. They both finally stopped. They were going to get ready to fight. The one guy got out. The other guy went in the back of his trunk, pulled out a crossbow, killed the guy. Yeah, you just never know. You never know. Yeah, it's crazy. You could be on the bus like that freaking. Did you see what happened to that poor girl that got stabbed, got killed in North Carolina? Check that shit out. She's fucking. She was a refugee from I don't know where the fuck she was. They have footage of it. Where was it? Yeah, she's from Ukraine.
Yeah.
Beautiful girl. Just yeah, no, just happened recently. Beautiful girl, just trying to fucking make her way and away from the war. And she comes to the United States and she gets fucking stabbed in the neck by some crazy fucking dude for no reason. like no reason. The guy just stabbed her in the neck. He killed her. Stabbed her 3 times.
For us pro Ukrainians, that was very, very sad. Unfortunately,
Yeah, it's horrible. There's just no reason for it. But we live in that world. That could happen to any of us at any time. You never fucking know. So you can't spend your entire life thinking about it. It's like just fucking do it. You know what I mean? If you want to do something, do it. If you don't, sit around and talk about it and just be decisive. I don't know. You want to go to Thailand? Go to Thailand. Make a plan and do it. You want to do this, do that. But to talk about, doing this and doing that and doing that. I mean, everyone does it. I mean, I'm kind of caught in the middle of that right now with what I want to do with my next vacation. But, it's just when you
But
do
hey,
finally.
Monster, how old are you now? Like, could you really like climb Mount Everest? Like, how old are
I
you?
could.
I think he's older than me. I think he's in pretty good shape.
I'm not in good shape, but
Oh.
I mean, like cardiovascularly, I mean, I'm reasonably good shape. But in terms of, if I'm going to run a marathon, fuck no, I'd drop dead. Can I walk 20?
You're actually in pretty good shape because you're.
I think the same. Like,
Yeah, you're at
I'm
least
39,
65.
but like if it's like Mount Everest, fuck no, that's not gonna happen.
You can't. No, it's challenge. The first leg of it is very challenging, and then after that, it's a slower. The elevation. You're still obviously going way up, but it's not as challenging. The first part of the trek from Lukala to Namche Bazaar is pretty much straight up.
So
You
I'm gonna.
gain like
But then like the breathing gets harder, right? The higher you go.
Intermonte is
yeah.
he's older than I am, but
Mhm.
he's in much better cardio shape than I am, and I'm actually not in bad shape. So
No,
I'm gonna say he's being humble here. He's actually in pretty good shape.
Well, I ref a lot of ice hockey. I don't get my heart rate over 105 or whatever. It's not like you know what I mean. I did whatever. I mean, I did that Charlie walk, and I walked whatever it was 23 miles. But anyone can do that. You know what I mean? It's
No,
unless you're like
not anyone could do 23 miles. I will say
Yeah,
that.
that's easy. But like
Yeah,
I
20
reckon
miles was
I'm
pretty
the
tough.
youngest person on here, but I'm pretty sure like I could not do that shit. Like that's not gonna happen. Like no.
well, you don't want to. You could do it if you really wanted to. As I said,
Well,
I'm
yes
just
and no. If you
my
have physical constraints, like
well,
if you
yeah.
have like some people just their feet they just can't walk that much.
Mhm.
Feet, it could be anything from plantar fasciitis to other feet conditions. You just can't
Oh,
do
you've
that.
seen my feet, Jesus. No, but like
May
2 weeks before
may
Jesus
see
Christ.
like I had
Uh,
like I walked 30,000 steps last summer. Like I'm just walking and hiking, but no way I'm walking Mount Everest. Like that's not a thing. Like it's not gonna happen.
It should
why?
not. It should not. 30,000. So first of all, are we talking about steps, American steps, English steps, or are we talking about kilometer
No,
steps?
the steps is the same as in every country. Like that's just like steps,
Are
you know.
they? Even the Germans, the Norwegians, that step so much further? I
That's
don't
like
know.
6 miles
I
in a
don't
day. I walk that,
know.
but like I won't walk that up a mountain and like trying to climb Mount Everest. Like no,
You're
it's
climbing to
too
the
much.
beginning of Mount Everest, and you walk slowly, and the biggest challenge is acclimating, but it's also if you're carrying a lot of weight. It's amazing that the Nepalese, not the Sherpa, but just the porters and guides, the amount of weight that they can carry just based on the fact that most of these people weigh up 150 pounds and they're carrying 200
I
pounds
know.
on their back.
Oh, I agree. If I
But
carry a
it's
backpack that has more than 10 pounds on it, I'm struggling.
well, no,
Yeah,
10
but
I
pounds
got
of water. Just 10 pounds of water. That's
Monster,
hard to carry.
you
mhm.
need to like you need to add a lot of things, right? You need a tent, you need like water, you
You
need
don't.
food, you
No,
need all the
no.
things. Like you need to carry a lot of weight while you're walking up
Well,
the mountain, right?
I had 20, 26 pounds because I brought way too much. But by the time I got to Namche Bazaar, I said, "Fuck this! I don't eat all this shit." I basically dropped 10 pounds off the back. No, probably like 12 pounds off my pack. But the most difficult part of the trek in terms of elevation and just physical exertion, I had 26 pounds on my back. It killed me, and it wasn't extremely. It was from Pangboche, which is the second town after Lukla, to Namche Bazaar. Namche Bazaar is the biggest town in that area in the Himalayas. They have, a bar. It's like a little town. It's like where all of the trading is done and stuff like that. But to get there from Lukla to Pangboche, wherever the fuck it was, up there, it's straight up, literally straight up, and that was difficult. It was challenging.
I just
Definitely.
heard recently, like they used to keep these like tour guides. Like you're not allowed to go there unless you have a tour guide. Like if you don't apply some guide to go
Mhm.
go around, you're not allowed to go.
Well, yeah, but basically when I went there. There were people that they did allow you to do it on your own. They highly, they didn't want you to do it, but you could. Now the Nepalese government basically, as soon as you enter that park, I forget what it's called. It's Himalaya Park. Let's call it that. You have to get a pass because they want to keep track of you. They want to make sure that basically you return, and that's exactly what we did. You pay for the access to the park, and then when you complete the trek back in Alukla, you sign out because they obviously need to keep track of people. But when I was there was people that were doing it by themselves. I mean, there was maniacs that were getting it done in 5 days, which is psychotic, 5 or 6 days because they weren't acclimating. Because I think overall on the way up we had 2 or 3 acclimation days. I
Yeah, but
ended up saying,
that's what you want, right? Like you don't want to have a fucking tour guide or some shit. Like you want to get it done and like see it on your own. You don't want some fucking tour guide telling you what to do or
they
where
don't
to go.
they don't no, they don't. It's not. There's not much. It's. They're there to help you to make sure that they're there as security, so that if you
Yeah,
get sick.
but like if you enjoy like the nature and all the things that
Mhm.
you can watch, you want to
Yeah,
see it on your own, right? You don't want like some guy like telling you where to go or what to do, right?
there's one path. There's not like you're going to take another path. They're not going to tell you to hurry up or slow down. They'll tell you to slow down if you're moving too fast because they're worried that you're not going to be able to finish. They are there strictly for your safety. They're not dictating where you're going or what you know where you're going. There's 5 towns on the way up to 5 towns, I think it is. I don't know, maybe 6 towns on your way up to Everest Base Camp. That's where you're going. If you want to go
They,
to Namche,
they're called Sherpas, right? Like the people
no,
who carry you on the trail.
the Sherpas are the ones that are actually when you get to the Sherpas are the Sherpa is a it's a group, it's a culture. But basically, I went. I had a tour guide. He was not a Sherpa. A Sherpa is someone that I mean, a Sherpa can be a tour guide for the Everest Base Camp trek, but the Sherpas are the ones they make big money in comparison to tour guides. The whatever the guides. There's porters, there's guides, and then there's Sherpas. The Sherpas are the ones that are actually taking you from base camp up to the top of Mount Everest, primarily. Yep. Yeah, it's a just a balance. I mean, like the guy that I went with, he at one point was trying to be part of the group that would bring you up to Everest, to the top of Everest, and it's a lot of political stuff. I mean, you actually have to be part of a certain group, a certain family. You have to have certain
Yeah,
experience. He
but
was.
like top of
Mhm.
Mount Everest, it's got to be hard. Like you need some fucking commitment for that. Like that's got to be hard. You need like equipment. You need like
Yeah,
guides. Like
yeah.
you
Well,
need a
every
lot of
year
stuff to get to the fucking mountaintop.
you need a support team to do it. You need a support team, basically,
Like
in
you,
order
you
to.
can't just be like like say if you're Charlie and you're like, yep, I'm just gonna walk there on my own and it's fine. No, it's not. It's not gonna
No,
happen.
No, you can't do it. You're not allowed to. You know, they're not going to let you. They won't let you pass into the national park without a guide. You know,
Yeah, but
and the people.
this is just a no go. Like it's never gonna happen. Like kind of like the trail. Like okay, maybe like a week. Like yeah, I made it. Like
Oh,
like 30%.
Charlie is looking at it from a financial perspective. Everything he does, he has to make money, and he knows that this whatever. I mean, he could vlog and stuff. He knows he won't make money off it. I mean, sure, he'd break even or whatever, maybe even make a couple $100, but he knows that you know vlogging in Nepal is not gonna make him a lot of money. I don't care if
Yeah,
he
but like even if he get like $10,000 to go, like there is no way he's hitting the summit of
but that
that
wasn't what
mountain.
that wasn't it was to reach base camp. Everyone
Oh
keeps
yeah, but
Yeah.
that's all right.
There's a
It's
huge
still
difference
that's like
between
18,000 feet, right?
the summit. You
no,
see how many people have died going from base camp to summit. There's
that's
so many people
exactly.
that die. They just die doing that.
Yeah,
And
man,
you
it's
can't
just
even
a lot
retrieve
of
the bodies. You have to leave them there.
the worst season ever. I was there in 2019, and that's when the Avalanche was a couple of years before that. That a lot of people lost their lives, but 2019 was when they opened it up. That was the first year that they had the queuing. That's what kills most people up there is the fact that they run out of oxygen because there's too many people up on the mountain. But the year that I was up there, 2019, a lot of people died because what happens is you're waiting up at base camp to acclimate. And what happens is there's a very short window or period where you can actually be permitted to go and hit the peak. And
Uh,
the window closed out. There was only like
I
a
I
day.
I only seen those vlogs from like the mountains in the
Mhm.
Himalayas, but I really like appreciate those people because like they're like, yeah, we just live on the mountain, we don't give a shit, and like some people died, fuck off, and like they just live there from like nothing and like get it done somehow, like
Oh,
there
I
is some.
uh, my guess is the difference between base camp and the peak is pretty high. Like
Significant.
you can get for every 10 people who go to base camp, maybe you get one or two to go to the peak. It's not for every 10 people you get to base camp, all 10 will get to the peak. No, it doesn't work that way.
Well, no, I mean
I think you need like
nowadays.
I think you need like gas mask and stuff to just to breathe when you go to the top.
Well, they do provide oxygen, but there's plenty of people that go up there and do it without oxygen. Most of the people now actually do use oxygen, I should say. I mean, you could see it literally when I was going up there. I did it in April, which is early. Like most of the time, I think most people try to reach the peak. It's late April to like the end of May. Like that's the best time frame. That's when everyone goes there because that's the highest probability of reaching the peak. So when I was going up there, you wouldn't believe the amount of equipment that was going up to base camp, as well as just the oxygen and you name it. It was brought up there. It was crazy. It was a really cool experience. Talked to a
Do
lot
the
of people
really
that
do the really rich people bring two Sherpas up there instead of one?
no, they fly a helicopter up there. You don't even see them.
They don't even do the base camp. They just fly a helicopter to the base camp. then
No,
they
I'm serious. I'm
yeah,
not. I'm
no,
not. I'm not joking.
I'm not joking. This is totally how the rich people would do it. They just
Yeah,
take a picture,
but
post
a
it on
lot of a lot of
Instagram.
those people end up dying too because they're not mountaineers. That was what happened. It was the first. I think it was 2016 was like when the avalanche hit, and then Hall, which was he was very famous on the mountain as being a guide to get people up to Everest. He's the one that there's a call. He's basically calling his wife for the last time because he knows he's going to die. He's stuck on the top of Everest. He can't walk, can't get him down. Um, But yeah, that's what happened to a lot of people. You know, yeah, whatever. It is what it is.
Yep.
What's up, Go? What are you doing? Walking 25 steps a day to get a cup of bone broth. That's content. I need a consultation with CC so I can make money walking 25 steps upstairs to get a cup of bone broth. That's content. Man. But CC, you know, the reason why I kind of just, you know, led him along this path is I would love to see him do it because I think he'd fucking love it. It would ruin him for any other track. I mean, like, my game plan was to basically do Everest Base Camp, and then I was going to come back because I was in a period of, you know, my life. I sold my house and a lot of things, and I had a lot of time to do some stuff. And I was actually planning on doing the entire Appalachian Trail. But after doing the Everest Base Camp, I'm like, fuck this, dude. I'd already done a lot of the trail, and well, a lot of the trail in the Northeast over the past, you know, since I was in my 20s. But I was gonna come back and do the whole damn thing. But I'm like, I don't want to just after seeing the Himalayas and doing what I did. I'm like, it'd be fucking boring as all hell, to be honest with you. Basically, what it came down to.
How long did you get? Like, did you just visit the base camp, or did you like hike up for Mount Everest? Like, did you get
No,
higher up?
you need a permit. So you basically, if you're just doing base camp, there's like a little. They changed it since I was there, but there's kind of they block off. You can't get into base camp. Like you're at base camp, but you can't physically get in there. All of the people that actually are there have paid a lot of money to the Nepalese government to have permission to actually climb Mount Everest. So anyone that goes to just do the trek doesn't have accessibility unless you sneak in. There was a couple of people that snuck in and walked around base camp and got pictures, but you're not supposed to be there. That's off limits. It's you go there. You can't even
But
like from
that's
base camp.
basically a scam, right? Like, you're not, if you're not allowed to be there, like, why the fuck are you there in the first place? Like, why can't you take a picture if you already paid to get there? Why do you need to pay
No,
more?
you can't even see the top of Everest really from base camp because it's just you'll see there's base camp, there's camp 2, camp 3. I forget how many camps there are. You can see like 2 camps. You can see the I can't even remember what it's called. It's basically a
But mate, like,
glacier.
I saw
What?
some videos. I like Mount Everest. You know, it's interesting. But
Hmm.
like when I watch it, it's like, like they just disappear. Like they're all gone. Like, okay, watch the video and fuck off.
Yeah, I didn't do it for people to watch me. It was a personal accomplishment for me. It was probably one of the most difficult things I've done, and just the
Yeah,
beauty of it. I don't, you know what I mean? It was a beautiful, beautiful. It was one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen it, ever in my
yeah,
life.
of course it is. I just mean, like, the people I've seen who done that, like, get to
Hmm.
the top of the mountain. It cost
Hmm.
them like $50,000.
Yeah, yep. It does. I mean, just think about what it takes. You know what I mean? You're paying for all of the Sherpas. You're paying for the support of getting all the materials up there. Yeah, no, it's an expensive thing. No question about it. No question about it. You know, I mean, would I ever wanted to do? I talked about it way back when, but I was never even, and I never climbed mountains. I think I did, stuff in Vermont. But it's a different animal. It really is. It's a different animal. I'm more than satisfied that I did the trek up to base camp and experienced that. That was amazing.
Yeah,
You
it's
know?
pretty awesome because literally only 1% of Americans will ever do that. 1%. It's not 10%, it's not 5%. It's literally
Well, what's the
1% would
what's the
ever.
percentage of people that leave the United States that are Americans? You know what I mean? It's
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you.
seriously. I mean,
Yeah.
what's the what
Yeah.
Ron always says it, the amount of
There
go with
there
Mel.
is a certain So there is a certain amount of people that would leave for different places. They could leave for Iceland because they think it's all Iceland. In terms of mountains, like what's that big mountain in Africa? It's actually in the southern part of Africa. Damn, I can't remember the name. They would do that. Kilimanjaro. Kilimanjaro.
Kilimanjaro.
Yeah.
Oh, the African mountain. Yeah, I got it.
A lot of people like to do that. But the big one is Mount Everest.
Annapurna would be good too. That's on my bucket list too. I don't know. I'm getting too old for it, but I would like to go back to Nepal and do the Annapurna trek. That would be the other one I'd be really interested in.
Mm.
Hey, Monster, we had this like I'm interested in football, like in my country, like the Swedish football and my national team. But they had this thing like they do it for charity. So they're hiking the highest mountain in Sweden to get some donations to donate to some charity or something. But the highest mountain in Sweden is not that large, it's like 3,000, no, like 300 kilometers, like it's not that big. It's like 30% of the Himalayas, like it's very small.
When you have to get the Swedish chef to advertise for you from the Muppets.
Oh yeah, I remember that guy.
Yeah, see, look at Tea Towel Holder. I mean, a guy that was in his 60s. I mean, it's not. It's if you want to do it, you can do it. I mean, but the other side of it is that there was, I forget, it was an Olympic swimmer or something like that wanted to do it, but basically flew from Kathmandu to Lukla, landed in Lukla, and they had to immediately get her down because she just wasn't. Some people just can't handle the altitude. That's what I mean. She was in better shape probably than anyone on the fucking mountain or in Lukla physically, but it's just some people can't react well. I mean, they have pills that you can take to help you out.
Nate, was that like an emergency? Like they had to like fly her out in a helicopter or some shit, or like can she just walk down?
It was the town above Namche Bazaar. I forget what it was called, but I was in a tea house and a helicopter landed, and I saw 3 people on stretchers being brought over to get the fuck out of there because they had altitude sickness. They had to get them off the mountain down to Kathmandu at a lower elevation, or they die. Yeah, I walked by someone when I was heading up. This was Gorbachev. That's the last town before Everest. Someone when I was walking up to Gorbachev was on the side and completely out of it. There was guides there, and I mean that's the other thing. Like Charlie, Charlie, if he did it, I would have made him get insurance because if you get evac'd off of that mountain, it's a fucking fortune. That's part of the deal. Probably what they would require now. Haven't done any research on it, but I would imagine now it would be mandatory to have evac insurance. And they're very careful about it now because those people that would scam, they would climb, they'd go to Everest Base Camp, and then they'd be like, "Fuck this, I'm not walking back." What they would end up doing is calling in a medevac. And the companies were making a fortune, and they get kickbacks. There was a scam, and then finally they said, "You know what? This has got to stop. We got to prove that these people are actually really sick." So they cracked down on that big time. But yeah, no, it was no joke. It's fucking cold, man. Gorbachev was one of the coldest places I've ever been in my life. Fucking
I
freezing.
respect you, though. I respect you though for going to fucking Kathmandu and you seen the shit. Like I've never been there, but that's a good place to visit.
Yeah. I mean, Kathmandu was where I was all people that were getting ready to climb or basically who are already climbed. It's it's an interesting city. I mean, they still at that point. I think there had been I was there in 2019. There had been a major earthquake there in 2016, and there was still rubble all over the place. It's third world nation. Let's just put it that way. But it was an interesting place. I enjoyed
Yeah,
it.
but okay. One last question. How was the food?
The food, um,
Whatever
the
died
food.
along the way.
Well, no, the food in Cat. Actually, the best pizza I ever had over there was in Kathmandu. When I was over in Asia, it was in Kathmandu. It was actually pretty good. It was an Italian guy that owned it. He'd import all
What?
the ingredients. Yeah,
I
Kathmandu
heard
right.
a
pizza is
lot of people got food
better
poisoning
than New
over
York.
there.
I love
Well,
New York.
no, the once you get up to Lukla, everything you're eating, pretty much with the exception of maybe uh, the meat, whatever the fuck those things are called, the oxes. No, the whatever they're
Oh,
called. I can't even remember whatever the fuck they're called. Go. What are they called? Oxen. You eat that meat, but everything else is brought up there. All of the
yeah.
beverages, all the food. So it's the food wasn't great once you get up to Lukla. Let's just put it that way. It's very
Yeah.
basic, very basic. You'd have soups, they'd have grilled cheese type stuff, but you really weren't super hungry anyway. I mean, you were, but you weren't. It just your body gets fucked up. I lost 19 pounds on that trek. I think it was
Wow.
19.
19
Yeah.
pounds. That's actually a lot.
Well, I had
No,
also gained
19
tons.
pounds.
Mm-hmm.
I've been
You're
trying to
gonna
lose
lose.
19 pounds for like 3 years.
Well, if you want to lose weight quick, then do the Everspace Camp track.
Yeah, I'm not going there.
But I'd also been drinking every fucking night, eating all the Thai food and this and that. So I was putting on the lbs big time.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Exactly. But yeah, no, the food wasn't great. It wasn't the best. So, but it was fun. Am I dying to go back there? No, but if I mean, the
No, I
six and
think you've
six.
already done it. Like you've already done what more than 99% of the population would ever do.
Yeah. Well, you know what I would do probably if I went back. I would love to do the Annapurna, but I would just go back up to. I would do the flight to Lukla, and then I would go to Namche Bazaar. Namche Bazaar was cool. That's the highest Irish bar in the world. There's a bar up there, and there's a great view. You get a better view of Everest from Namche Bazaar than you do from base camp. You can't even see it from base camp because you're basically looking straight up into fucking mountains. You see like maybe the peak on a clear day.
Yeah.
But yeah, the only thing I regret about that whole trip is in Gorbachev. Um, there's a trek you do basically in the dark for the sunrise, and that would have been the best view of basically of Everest. The direct shot looking right at Everest. You're up. That would have been the highest elevation that I would have been at. But
I think
unfortunately,
the best
what's
track
that?
you can have, it's like you said, like the best view. You don't need to have like pay like $5,000 for like some fucking tour guide or some shit. Just get the best
Well, sometimes
from
those,
wherever
those
location.
those fucking tour guys bring you the oxygen you need to live.
Well, no, that's once again we're going back to the whole point. That's completely different. Anyone who pays $5,000 to trek to Everest Base Camp is a moron. Because as I said, it's not expensive. Realistically you could go with a tour group for $1,400. Now, when I went, I basically showed up at the airport. There was a guy there that I talked to. I signed up. I think I spent maybe $700 for it. That included the flight. No, it was like 800. The flight from Kathmandu to Lukla, and then a guide for 11 days. And then I gave the guide, I don't know, $300-400, and he almost had a heart attack. But it was well worth it because
All good, all good. I'm not. I love your. I don't think anyone else in the genre has ever or will ever attempt to ascend past the base camp. And I do know the base camp.
No, I can guarantee you there's no one that probably, I mean, at this point now, it's no, they wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I agree.
I am. Did you have any like breathing problems or something when you're hiking in that altitude?
That's a
Yeah,
good
when
question. That's a
I
good question.
did,
Base
I did
camp is
once.
not easy.
Once you get to Gorbachev, Google's the Google guy, but the amount of oxygen, it decreases significantly. That's why you acclimate. So the people that are going to actually climb Everest, they acclimate at base camp altitude, and they acclimate for months. They'll some guys will get there 2 months before just to acclimate. Now that was the highest point that I had gotten to. I had acclimated maybe 6,000 feet below that to get to that level, but I wasn't acclimated. Your window there is one day. I slept there the night before, and that was tough. I mean, that was you don't sleep well because you're really not getting any oxygen. That those are the night, like that's when your guide basically stays with you. Like the whole way up in the tea houses, they had an area for the guides to sleep, and then you'd have your own little room, you know. But when you get up to Gorbachev, there's not many. A lot of people don't even stay in Gorbachev, but for me, it worked that way that I was there for that night. We didn't have the time the way things synchronized for me to go past Gorbachev to get to Everest Base Camp. Plus, I originally planned on going to that peak for the sunrise, and the weather closed out. I could have gone up there, but I wouldn't have seen Everest because it was overcast.
Yeah,
By the
but I think
afternoon,
that's like a bad decision for any person, right? Like okay, go to base camp, but don't go any further, right?
well, you can't. I told you that. Unless you have a permit to climb Everest, you cannot. You can't go to base camp too. They're just not. There's people there that you need a license. I forget what it is. It's probably $10,000 or whatever, but you need a
Yeah,
permit to climb
I
Everest.
remember I watched some video. It's like the dude had a tour guide, and it's like, okay, like you're with me now, and you have to follow me, and he's like the caretaker of the fucking cunt.
Yeah, well, that's when you're climbing Everest, yes, you have those people. The Sherpas set up the route prior to anyone going up there, and that caused literally guys almost got killed because there was guys that were trying to climb Everest before they set the lines, and they got above the Sherpas, and they caused like a mini avalanche and almost killed a bunch of Sherpas. Now they didn't get past to get up to Everest, so they came back down to base camp 3, I think it was, and they almost
But
got killed. Okay.
even the smaller mountain, like they like in Nepal, like they do it now. Like they make this like, okay, you cannot go in any place unless you have a Sherpa or a guide. Like you can't go
Mhm.
alone. You have to have like somebody accompany you.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense because the popularity of it would say like so many more people want to do it.
Yeah, they restrict it just because overall, just look what happened. As I said, in 2019, even this past, every year someone dies from the fact that there's killing, that, they run out of oxygen because, you just can't get up there because there's one rope that you're tied into to get up to that peak. And then you have literally a minute to 2 minutes to enjoy the view or to say, yeah, I climbed Everest, and then you got to come back down. It's a shit show. Just do a YouTube search. You'll see it. The queuing, the year that I went there, there was a picture that someone took, and I'm talking there was hundreds and hundreds of people waiting to get above the Hillary step. The Hillary step is famous. I think it fell apart in 2000. I believe it was one of the last earthquakes, completely changed. But that was the main area where basically that's where people were stopped because it's difficult to get past the Hillary step. After that, it clears up. But the queue to get over the Hillary step was 300 people. It's crazy. Yeah.
And I would add to this for you people saying that this is a Hillary Clinton step. It's not the Hillary Clinton step. It's
Jesus.
totally unrelated. Just in case you guys
Crazy.
Just in case you guys thought that it was about Hillary Clinton.
You want to watch an amazing documentary about, climbing? It's the Three Peaks. It's a guy that did the top peak. Or no, what is it? Three Peaks? I forget what. Just look up peaks on Netflix. It's a guy that did all the top peaks. He did it in a like fucking I don't know in like 3 months. It was insane. Climbed all the top peaks. And once again, Gogo, you know it. Look it up. I can't switch between, but it's an amazing
Yeah.
documentary. It's about a person from Nepal, and he was the first one ever to do it. And it was it's amazing that he survived doing it. Just the probability of him being able to climb all these peaks and survive in the time frame that he did it is just amazing. It really is.
Hey, Taisi, I gotta give you an apology because we talk too much shit, and it's your channel, so we should shut up
Mhm.
and listen to you. It's been a long time that we
Oh,
talk
hold
shit.
on, hold on. Never apologize because you want to talk. Never apologize.
Channel owners
Yeah, but
enjoy not
wait,
having
like
to entertain.
it's still your channel, right? Like you should be
It
able
doesn't,
to
it doesn't matter.
talk shit, you know?
The only reason I come on is because I want to talk to people. So it's all
Mhm.
good. All good. I often let people, most of the time, I'll let almost anyone on that has a different view than I do. Doesn't matter if it's geopolitical versus science. I'll let them on. Doesn't matter to me. So it's all good.
I appreciate you giving me a venue to discuss something that I liked and I
All
enjoyed.
good. All good. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah. It was getting frustrating listening to people talk about it though. They're like it just you're gonna die. You're gonna I was like, oh my God, guys, just fucking Google. Google. Watch a video if it interests you. People just speculate. It's annoying as fuck. And even Charlie was, I'm gonna die on that flight to Lupa. I'm gonna take a bus up to fucking Lupa. Just come on,
Hey,
man.
Taisi, are you getting better at cooking? I remember the last time I talked to you, you were like grilling burgers, and then you're like, "Fuck it, I burned it," and then you ordered fast food.
Oh, oh, that thing. Yes. So there was a thing where I grilled and burned all the burgers. It was a terrible thing. I think it was like two. Actually, it wasn't even a month ago. It was like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happened. That happened. I survived. I survived. Now I have to.
I've I've done that with filet mignon, man. I've done that with filet
Yeah.
mignon. Too drunk.
Yeah.
You
I
go
can say
inside.
I can say filet mignon, but if the dog won't even eat it, I don't even know what it is.
Nah,
But yeah,
I
that's what
I
happened.
burnt fucking. It was beyond well done. I burnt like I don't know a couple $100 worth of fucking filet mignons one time. It was not good. Not good at all. Upsetting. Oh man.
All right. How about we do this? Anyone want to come on? Oh, anyone want to post their link so they can go live? I got. I have to. I have to go.
Hey, Monster and Taisi, nice to have me, but I'm gonna go to bed.
Yeah,
I'll listen in,
that's
but
what we're.
I'm gonna
That's what
fuck
we're
off
planning
for a
on
bit.
doing. You're going to bed, and because you're going to bed, we're going to ask for people that do want to come online. And we're
Yeah,
going to
I'll fuck off.
no. Just wait for people to come on and say they're going to come online.
I'm
And
looking in the audience.
they can decide to go to your channel.
I don't see anyone that I think is going to jump on. Doesn't look. The prospects don't look that good.
Oh, I agree. I
Yeah,
agree.
whatever. It is what it
We'll,
is.
we'll see.
I may
I'll be on for
I may
another 20
stream.
minutes.
I may stream later. About a
Mhm.
half an hour, 45 minutes. I just don't feel like doing it right now. I'll
All
do
good.
a rooftop quick stream.
He's doing a roofie top stream, whatever a roofie means.
Exactly. I'll be up on the roof. Up on the roof for a quick hour-long stream for gossip about Ron and talk about Thailand and where I go and what I want to do and be indecisive. And should I go here? Should I go there? Same old bullshit, you know.
Yeah,
But
I would say I would say for most of the people, like being indecisive is not one of your weaknesses. I think you pretty much have a idea what you want to do.
Yeah, there's an element of free flow thought to get to the point of where you're going. But as soon as I make a decision, I try to execute. And occasionally, yes, I will. And I'm going to do this when I go to Thailand. I'm going to do that. But the biggest
And
decision is I'm going to Thailand.
I
I'm going to
hope,
get
yeah,
there.
I hope you go. I do hope you go to Thailand in January or February. I can meet up with you, hang out with you.
Unfortunately, no, not that. I'm a November,
Yeah,
December guy. That's
yeah,
until I do the 6 and 6. You will not see me there in January.
yeah. I get
Unfortunately,
that a lot. I do get that a lot.
yeah, I'm kind of still in the game, so I got to kind of stuck to specific times and this and that. But there hopefully will be a point in the near future where I am there from November till April, May, whatever. That's kind of
Yes,
what I'm.
it could happen depending on financial things.
Yeah,
So
me, it's a combination of both. I mean, the more money you have, the better off you are. But yeah, there's a lot of things that are involved with it. But
mhm.
I mean, I could, at some point, yes. But no matter
Yeah,
what, it'll
all
be
good.
6 and 6. Huquoc, that's the spot. I've been looking at that. I've been looking at that. No visa, fly from Bangkok round trip. I think it's like 200 or $300. Huquoc looks interesting. It does. I
Last
do want
chance,
it.
last
What's
chance for
that?
someone to post their link if they want to go live. I'll replay it,
Last
but
trip to Bangkok.
we'll see.
Hey, it is what it is. Doesn't look like it's happening, Tazi.
Okay,
Looks
all
like
good.
you
Thank you.
want
Thank you for
call
coming
it.
on.
No problem, man. Thanks. Good talking to you, man. Later.
Yeah. Later. David Dasher with overnight train Beijing to Lhasa. Yeah. Oh, I still have the link up. Well, it's the link to this stream. If you guys anyone wants to come online, we'll just we'll post it here because I have to go offline at some point. I have to go to bed. Do. We'll give it like another minute or so. This is free advertising. You want to go live? You want your YouTube channel, your stream promoted? Why not? Why not do this? I recognize GoGo. I thought GoGo was a great place to go, but I don't see GoGo advertising his stream. Bum, 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 bum. Ah, damn it, we're getting no one, and no one from the chat. Like the as we said, like in the past hour, there's something called Basecamp. We actually have Basecamp here in our not so much YouTube stuff. We have Basecamp in our line chat. And in the base chat, the Basecamp of the line chat, no one for the first time in a while wants to come online. Yeah, so I'll let it go for another couple minutes and then we'll log off. But it's looking like it's definitely looking like no one wants to come back on. But I thought the information we had from Internet Monster, and JHK. It actually was pretty cool. We had the actual information from Internet Monster of what he's done in not only Nepal, but going from Nepal to Kathmandu to the base camp was pretty cool. Like you can't make that stuff up. And let's see. Yeah. I have to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back, and we'll see if we want to extend it for another few minutes. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna. Yeah, I'm pretty sure no one. Okay, so I'm actually surprised no one wants to go online and just post their stuff, which I'm very inclined to do. I don't care. Just post your stream if you want to come online. I'll repost it. But I don't think at this point anyone wants to do that. I'll give it another minute before I go off. I do show 11 watching, but I want to guide all you 11 people for someone else that wants to do stuff. Oh, Thomas Crane, you're saying David Bond. I do remember David Bond. He was one of the original people that's been doing gaming streams. For what game? Hey, Thomas Crane, what game is David Bond been doing? I do know who David Bond is because back in like 2019, 2020, everyone who was in a genre would know who David Bond is. But as far as gaming streams, I don't know. Like I don't know the gaming streams. Okay. You're like yeah. If you're not sure where he's playing, I don't even know. So there's a genre he's playing. Like, is it a PS4 game, PS5 game? Is it a like just a online internet game? Angry Birds? We don't know. It could be Angry Birds, maybe. Although I highly doubt it's Angry Birds. Oh, some type of first person shoot. Yeah, I would guess that's the most common type. Yeah. Viking preppers keeping the chat occupied. I do remember there's a whole thing about Viking prepper versus Viking pepper. They're two different accounts. But I don't want to get into the difference between the two, and if they're even different people, which they probably are. All right. So no one wants to come on. I have the stream pinned. Maybe we'll do it tomorrow. We're gonna do it tomorrow. Thank you guys for coming on. I'm gonna have a talk with the people that I normally come on with, and we'll see if we want to do a stream tomorrow. So thank you guys for coming on. But yeah, I'm gonna head off.